Ừ, đó, bây giờ.
y'all help me with this CID $1 million? Think I'm bullshitting? I'm gonna bring my other character in here right now. She's gonna be at the airport. That's big bullshit.
Hello, this is Agatha, the casino and resort manager, again. Look, I tried to explain this in your penthouse, but here it is. The diamond may look brand new and sparkling, but it's actually in trouble. The rebuild went way over budget, and the Chings had to refinance. The new debt came from these Texans, the Duggans, and now they want to take over completely. They're a multinational with interests in oil and gas, security services, and gambling. And if they buy us, they will strip out everything they can. Every contract will be undercut, including your ownership of the penthouse. So, if you want to help us get out of this, come see me in my office by table games. There has been a development. If you do help, and this works out positively, there could be a significant dividend in it for you.
and other essential workers should be next in line for the coronavirus vaccine. Democratic Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley has a different idea. This is a bit of what she tweeted. COVID-19 is rampant in our prisons, jails, and detention centers. Incarcerated individuals must be prioritized when this vaccine is available. Let's bring in Democratic Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard for her take on the vaccine distribution and why she believes.
You don't have to explain nothing to her. Are you kidding me? You feel like there's only one iPhone made in the world?
No, okay, then show me the
No, get a light. What phone you got now? You better go use find my iPhone. Go do that.
Find My iPhone is on.
See,
On that.
no, you can't. No, you can't. I don't care.
He will
This is
right
my
now.
phone. Hey, can you give me this phone? No, but you're not helping. I am. Man is disrespectful. No, I'm trying to settle the situation. My son has nothing to do with her.
No.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on in the
Then show me the proof. No, he's not leaving. Show me the proof. Show me the proof.
You better get on. Let's go, please. Get on. We have what you see two black people.
No, I'm not letting you walk away with my phone.
Get on.
No, please get my phone back. I cannot look at my phone.
Get your ass off.
Hey, Cecilia, good morning. Yeah, Demar and his fiance say they were humiliated. 1 minute, they're spending time with their kids. The next, he's in handcuffs for something he didn't do. And he describes feeling scared and wondering what's next as he was led away from his family. Outrage growing this morning over a troubling police incident caught on camera. What? What did he do? But he did nothing.
I did the same thing inside Walmart, and I have the whole thing on audio and video, but I can't get no legal representation because our legal system is ran by a criminal organization. How can you call someone to help you when the ones that's supposed to help you are the ones that's hurting and killing you? This is some bullshit. Until the people raise up and start their own legal law firm, these assholes will continue doing this type of bullshit and getting away with it, and then us as taxpayers pay for their stupidity because the legal system is along with the bullshit. Until we, the people, investigate our legal system that's being ran by this criminal organization, gonna continue terrorizing us as the people. It's time for us to wake up.
Basically, just sit down, enjoying the holidays, trying to get some lunch, and with my family. And next thing you know, I'm in handcuffs. No words, no explanation. It's just like, how does nothing change? How is everything still the same? How do you still racial profile a black man with dreads that way in 2020? How do you do that? It's still happening.
Because of the legal system. We have no legal system that's for people. When you look at the legal system was always against the black people. Now the legal system is against all type of people that don't have money, because the legal system is ran by a criminal organization, which is the legal lying lawyers who become judges, is the same assholes who made up the system. How fucking stuck on stupid can we be as people? This system was never meant for the brown people. Now everybody is linked up in this bullshit. It's time for us to start holding these liars accountable. And then once you start holding police accountable for their bullshit, you can hold any and everyone else accountable for their bullshit. Because until you hold the legal system, meaning the ones that's running the system, meaning the judges, meaning the lawyers, the politicians, because when you realize the truth that matters is, the truth makes sense. And when you look at the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, both parties been having a party on the people for decades. It's time for us as the people to rise up and start our own legal law firm for the people, by the people, ran by people that the people can trust. Because our legal law firm is the reason why they do other people this, and especially black people, this bullshit. Because there's no legal representation to represent you on this bullshit because of the legal system being ran by the criminal organization that's doing this shit. It's time for the people to wake up to their bullshit. This is nothing but the elites, assholes, and their bullshit. Herbs.
Police say it was a case of mistaken identity.
No one wants to be handcuffed in front of the family, in front of the public, and like the officer did on Saturday, we apologize for the discomfort. A specific suspect description, including clothing and other factors, was then provided to our officers. And we note as a result that Mr. Mackey was subsequently approached and handcuffed.
Mackey's attorney says the video is further evidence of a systemic problem within police training.
Everybody in this region knows this is how you get treated. This is how black males get treated in Virginia Beach. So this is what we hope to be able to change.
Jamar and Chantel calling the experience dehumanizing and nothing more than racial profiling. They say the worst part was their 13-year-old son forced to watch as his father was wrongfully detained.
As me looking back at the video, it hurts me, man, because what if they didn't shot me in front of my son or tased me in front of my son, like, for no reason?
I don't know if he'll be afraid of the police now or if he'll, like, you know,
animosity,
not care for them because of what he thought.
And Jamar told us when he watched that video back, he cried, thinking about other videos we've all seen of encounters with black men and police that ended so differently. He and Chantel say that this was traumatizing for their 13-year-old son, and they worry about the lasting impact on him. As for the officers, the police chief said those films not wearing masks will be disciplined for that.
What a fucking insult. What a fucking insult to our intelligence. What a fucking insult to our intelligence. The only discipline the police is gonna get is because they wasn't wearing masks. Masks on their faces.
I have this little problem. I'm married to a pastor. He's a retired engineer.
Hey, I want to read this letter, and I tried to edit it, and I couldn't. I'm going to try to get through as much of it as I possibly can, because every American needs to hear this. This is from Archbishop Vigano. If I'm not mistaken, Vigano is the guy who has been saying the Vatican Bank and the ring of homosexual pedophile priests is not being uprooted. He's been trying to ring the bell that there is a deep state in the church that is evil. But I want you to hear what he is talking about.
The church, the deep state, in God we trust. All this bullshit is together against us. The people that should know better naturally.
An open letter to President Trump.
Literally, the truth is unbelievable. Once you realize you're being lied to, you'll realize who's lying to who, to what they're trying to teach us all to be. And make believe is them teaching us to be liars.
Apostolic Nuncio of the United States of America. I'm writing you in the midst of the silence of both civil and religious authorities. May you accept these words of mine as a voice of one crying out in the desert. As I said when I wrote my letter to you in June, this historic moment sees the forces of evil aligned in a battle without quarter against the forces of good. Forces of evil
literally
powerful and organized as they oppose the children of light, who are disoriented and disorganized, abandoned by their temporal and spiritual leaders. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Daily we sense the attacks multiplying of those who want to destroy the very basis of society, the natural family, respect for human life, love of country, freedom of education, freedom of business. We see heads of nations and religious leaders pandering to this suicide of Western culture and its Christian soul, while the fundamental rights of the citizens and believers are denied in the name of a health emergency that is revealing itself more and more as fully an instrument to the establishment of an inhuman, faceless tyranny. The global plan called the Great Reset is underway.
Loving.
This is my next book, and it is coming out. We're going to see how the election goes. We're close. to finishing it. But if we can get it out before Christmas, we will. I don't know if we'll make that. But the Great Reset is real. This is not a conspiracy. It is real. Its architect, the Cardinal, right, is the global elite that wants to subdue all of humanity, imposing coercive measures with which to drastically limit individual freedoms and those of entire populations. In several nations, this plan has already been approved and financed. In others, it's still in an early stage. Behind the world leaders, who are the accomplices and executors of this infernal project, there are unscrupulous characters who finance the World Economic Forum and Event 201, promoting their agenda. If you watch my show, you know what the World Economic Forum and Event 201 did. If you don't, I urge you to go back and look at those shows, their Wednesday night specials. Look at those shows, and then do your own homework on them. All of the videotape of these meetings is out online. The purpose of the Great Reset is the imposition of a health dictatorship aiming at the imposition of liberticidal measures hidden behind tempting promises of ensuing a universal income and canceling individual debt. The price of these concessions from the International Monetary Fund will be the renunciation of private property and an adherence to a program of vaccination against COVID-19 and COVID-21 promoted by Bill Gates in collaboration with the main pharmaceutical groups. Beyond the enormous economic interests that motivate the promoters of this Great Reset, the imposition of the vaccination will be accompanied by the requirement of a health passport and a digital ID, with the consequent contact tracing of the population of the entire world. Those who
Run,
do not
Forrest,
accept these
run!
measures will be confined in detention camps or placed
Life is
under
like a
house
box of
arrest.
chocolates, Forrest,
Their
run!
assets will be confiscated. Mr. President, I imagine
Y'all ain't gonna catch Forrest, Forrest gone. Run, Forrest, run.
This year in the first trimester
Oh,
of
Forrest.
2021.
Forrest, they catching up with you, Forrest.
Further lockdowns
Run, Forrest. Uh-oh.
which will
Fucking bear,
be
the bear after you. Run, Forrest, run.
of the pandemic.
Oh, shit.
You are also well aware of the means
Run,
that have been
Forrest.
deployed to sow panic
Run.
and
Oh, they catching up with you, Forrest. You ain't gonna make it,
on
Forrest.
individual liberties.
Run, Forrest. Boy, look, Forrest, take it off. Go, Forrest.
Provoking a worldwide
Boy, run. Oh, shit, Forrest, they got you.
in the intention
well.
of its architects.
You tried,
This
Forrest.
crisis will serve to make the recourse of nations to
Stay down,
the
Forrest.
Great Reset irreversible,
Stay down. That's the police.
thereby
That's the
giving
police. Stay
final
down, Forrest.
control whose existence
Forrest, stay
every
down. Don't
member
try to get up.
want to completely cancel. But this world, Mr. President,
Should have never jaywalked.
affections, institutions,
Should have never jaywalked. The police wouldn't be beating you up for
and
jaywalking.
ideals, people and values that do not act like robots do not obey like machines because they are endowed with a soul and a heart, because they are tied together by a spiritual bond that drives its strength from above. From that
No
God,
fucking above from
that our
within,
adversaries
stupid
want
ass.
to challenge,
Talking about
just
some
as
fucking
Lucifer
above.
did at the
At that
beginning
Santa
of
Claus
time.
Easter bunch of bullshit.
Many people, as we all well know, are annoyed by this reference to the clash between good and evil and the use of apocalyptic overtones, which, according to them, exasperates the spirits and sharpens divisions. This is not surprising that the enemy, listen to this line, that the enemy is angered at being discovered just when he believes that he has reached the citadel. He seeks to conquer undisturbed. What is surprising, however, is that there is no one to sound the alarm. The
Nope.
reaction of the deep state
I'm
to
signing
those who
along right
denounce
now.
its plan is
I'm signing
broken
along
and
right now.
incoherent
I've been in
and,
the drug test since
but
98.
understandable.
I done survived the
Just
legal
when the
field of
complicity
these
of
drug
the
dealers,
mainstream
being these
media has
doctors.
succeeded in making the transition
I'm
to the
here.
New World Order almost
The
painless
proof
and
is
unnoticed.
within my body
All sorts of deceptions,
and on my
scandals,
body.
and crimes are now
Because of
coming
the
to
shit that
light.
didn't happen to my
A few
body
months ago, it
from
was
these legal
easy to
drug
smear
dealers being
as
these doctors.
conspiracy theorists.
I tried to
those
kill
who denounce
myself
these terrible plans,
because all that
which
fucking
we now
medication that the
see
doctor
being
gives to me
carried
like it was
out
candy.
down to the smallest
Shit.
detail. No one, up until last February, would have ever thought than in our cities, citizens would be arrested simply for wanting to walk down the street, to breathe, to want to keep their business open, to want to go to church on Sunday. Yet now it is happening all over the world, even in picture postcard Italy, that many Americans consider to be a small enchanted country.
Stupid fucking sheep.
Monuments,
allowing
churches,
these sons of
cities,
bitches,
its characteristic
crooks,
villages.
to run us around like sheep.
Are barricaded
We are
inside
stupid
their
people.
Giving out
We're really just
like
sheeple
Persian,
people. We ain't people with no spines.
Businesses failing,
We got
shops
little
closing,
fucking
and people
kids
are prevented from
running
living,
around,
traveling, working,
supposed to
and
be adults,
playing.
but not
Disastrous
thinking at all.
psychological
Period. Just believing the lie, to be the liar.
Seen beginning with the suicides of desperate entrepreneurs and of our children segregated from friends and classmates told to follow their classes while sitting at home alone in front of a computer.
Nah, it's a bullshit.
It is now clear
what happens when they
that
take the
one
computer
who
away from
occupies
you
the chair of Peter
after programming you that
has
motherfucker
betrayed his
in the
role
fucking
from the
computer.
very beginning in order to defend and promote the globalist ideology, supporting the agenda of the deep church who chose him from his ranks. Mr. President, you have clearly stated you want to defend the nation, one nation under God, fundamental liberties, and non-negotiable values that
under
are
the
denied
Creator,
and fought against
which is
today.
within them.
It is you,
each and every human living life all together.
It's
It's just that we've been taught to be fucking stupid. In God we trust. Is you trusting in this God bullshit, not really knowing the truth that's in you already, for you know already, stupid ass.
Of the importance of the
You couldn't
imminent
think
election,
about
not
nothing
so much for the
if the
sake of
Creator
this
was
or that
already within you
political
for you to know better.
but because
And to
of
know
the
better
general
is for you not to be
inspiration of
running
your
no race to
action
be
that
better
best
than no one.
embodies in this
To know
particular
better
historic
is to know
context.
that unconditional love
That
that beats
world,
within your
our
heart to
world,
make
which they
everybody
want to
equal.
cancel by means of
The truth is
lockdown.
in us.
Your
God
adversary
damn it,
is
shit.
also our
These
adversary.
bitches done taught us
It
to be
is the enemy
programmed
of the
fucking
human race.
lunatics.
He who is the murderer from the beginning. Around you are gathered with faith and courage those who consider you the
Fuck
final
faith,
garrison
fuck courage.
against the world
You need to
dictatorship.
realize what the fuck you need to do.
Is to vote for a person who is manipulated by the deep state, gravely compromised by scandals and corruption, who will do to the United States that which Jorge Bergoglio is doing to the church, the Prime Minister Conte to Italy, President Macron to France, Prime Minister Sanchez of Spain, and so on. The blackmailable nature of Joe Biden, just like that of the prelates of the Vatican's magic circle, will expose him to be used unscrupulously, allowing illegitimate powers to interfere in both domestic politics as well as international balances. It is obvious that those who manipulate him already have someone worse than him ready, with whom they will replace him as soon as the opportunity arises.
Harris.
In the midst of this bleak picture, the apparent unstoppable advance of the invisible enemy is an element of hope.
We're gonna see
The
some shit for
adversary
real.
does not know
That's
how
why
to
none
love.
of these
It
criminals
does not
should be
understand that there is not
nowhere
enough
near
to assure
becoming
universal income
president
or
or
cancel
vice
mortgages
president
in the order
because
to
they
subjugate
fucking
the masses
criminals.
and convince
I know.
them to be
Fuck,
branded like
we
cattle.
can't see this shit.
People, which for so long have endured the abuses of a hateful and tyrannical power,
A lot of motherfuckers
is
don't want to see it.
rediscovering that it does have a soul. It is understanding that it is not willing to exchange its freedom for the homogenization and cancelization of its identity.
See, y'all gotta
It's
realize
beginning to
with your own
understand
two
the value
eyes
of familial
where the
and
lies
social
lie at
ties
within you
and the bonds of faith
to know the
and culture that unite
absolute
all
truth
honest
of the
people.
creator that beats within the
Great
creation
Reset
within
is
being
destined
you.
to fail because those who planned it do not understand that there are
Not
still
realize.
people ready to
Do not
take to the
realize.
streets to defend
Do
their
not
rights,
realize.
protect their
You
loved
either
ones,
realizing
give
or
a
you're
future to
thinking.
their children
You're
and
not
grandchildren.
believing, you're not understanding, you're not having faith or your hope. That's four fucking words that was made up to keep us fucking stuck on fucking stupid like children.
Courageous opposition of the children
Adults
of light.
either know or they don't
The enemy
know.
has
Or they
Satan on
asking
his
questions
side.
to know.
He is
Because we
the
live in the
only
world
one
of you need to know what you're fucking doing
On our
24/7.
side, we have
Because once you done
the Lord
did, what you done
Almighty.
done, You can't undo what you done did. That's why you need to know what you're fucking doing 24/7. Because you can fuck it up by doing some fucked up shit for everybody. Fuck that shit. That ain't happening to me.
For which you, Mr. President, will certainly receive all the graces of state that you need, since they are being fervently implored for by many of the people who support you with their prayers.
Fucking prayers. Prayers going to well from where? That's what I'm trying to say. We supposed to be doing something in the beginning of us living life. I'm talking about the first people. We knew better than this shit. They made us into believers when we need to know what the truth is in order to go. They made us into believers because they needed you to not know you in order for them to have your willing participant in your own fucking slavery.
They are a shameful lot, a motley crew, parading around as our representatives. Yet in truth, the epitome of people in it for themselves. I'm not the only one who feels this way. Congress's approval rating has polled as low as 17% this year. I'm surprised it's even that high. Since this coronavirus hit our shores, we've looked to Congress for action. Yet their inaction, their feeble attempt to come out and look like they're going to help us is as...
Oh, bet you stop playing games. Y'all always want to let them play games with the Jones, but it's all good. It's all good.
Transparent and useless as they are. But this week topped even Nancy Pelosi's shameless "I'm rich and you're not" theater as she posed eating ice cream in front of her $24,000 refrigerator freezer, claiming that her rows of $13 a pint chocolate ice cream was helping her deal with the pandemic. What pandemic? There's no pandemic for people like you, Nancy. You constantly violate the rules you pass. The pain and the pleas of working people
if they ain't scared of this shit and they doing the shit that they doing, that lets you know that you the one that's being stupid to what they saying. Shit!
Cold response.
We are not just stupid people. We aren't.
Really
These bitches taught us to be this stupid.
Really?
But we're not.
You phony, condescending, fraudulent hypocrite. As you, the most powerful elected House Democrat, pontificate that we simply need to listen to the science, you march through a salon without a mask like a queen, immune from any laws or science. You and your ilk violate your own rules so often, it's clear you believe not only that you are above the law, but also that the rules serve no purpose other than to suppress and defeat us. While you and California Governor Gavin Newsom shut us down, yet selfishly dine at restaurants so beyond the reach of people you seek to suppress that you're creating an unnecessary class war. Admit it. You don't even believe what you're saying. And by the way, is it even your role to say who should work and who shouldn't? Why can't one store be open but not another? As Democrats look to crush small business, Target, Costco, Home Depot, and Amazon, and the big box companies, they are all thriving. Small businesses selling the same items are not allowed to open. But you keep saying, listen to the science. What science? Where are the numbers that support the closing of all restaurants in New York, New Jersey, and California when there is only a 1.4% COVID spread? And you keep trying to close schools and get more money for the unions, yet kids rarely get it and they rarely spread it. The teachers who get it from home. Yet you hypocrites allow social distance to disappear when so-called social justice is in your agenda. Where is the small business justice? Where is the right to the pursuit of happiness? Where is the right of the little man to compete in this country? Why is McDonald's allowed to open, but not my neighborhood burger joint? You say the drive-thru is safe. Tell me about the guy who hands me the French fries through the window. Did he touch his hands to his glasses? his apron to the person's hands before me? Was the burger cooked on an open grill? Was that man's mask on the whole time? And if he sneezed, did the mask slip off? How long have his gloves been on? Did he wipe his hands on his pants or his apron? Did he touch his sleeve, the one that he coughed into? Who are you kidding? But the one who takes the cake is Andrea Ocasio-Cortez, who at age 30 took the vaccine. Now, I call it the Trump vaccine. Funny, so many Democrats said they wouldn't take it if it came out of the Trump administration, yet there they are, jumping to the head of the line. We don't have enough vaccines, and there's a shortage of supplies to the elderly and infirm. Yet these federal politicians consider themselves vital and are therefore among the first to have access to the immunization. Healthy members of Congress, many of them younger than 40, pushing Americans to the curb as they bully their way to get a vaccine. The same bullies who got a paycheck and didn't give a damn about whether you would be getting one. These selfish politicians getting a vaccine before all the healthcare workers who work 15 hours a day, 7 days a week to make sure that we were safe. My friend, a doctor, is 73. He spent his life caring for others. He has a compromised immune system. An upset of his T-cell balance will prove fatal to him. He's not going to get the vaccine for months. After Congress, essential workers, which includes the garbage collectors and the truckers, he is hoping, and his family is hoping, he can hang on long enough to get it. Now, I have an idea, AOC. You're the one who talks the big talk about equality, minority justice, and injustice. You should be the last in line to get the vaccine. You guys did nothing for the last 6 months but play politics in the run-up to the presidential election. Why weren't you guys protesting with small business owners who know in their hearts that they will not survive another shutdown, who know there's no one fighting for them? You don't have to be a genius to know that if lockdowns actually work, they wouldn't have to keep locking us down. And you, who anoint yourself the savior of the downtrodden, have you even been trying to get money to Americans? A simple, straight bill, you condescending, patronizing, holier-than-thou, judgmental, self-important phonies, all of you who use our tax dollars to pay yourselves while we wait and beg you to get our money for our families. And now, to get a vaccine to survive. After you get the vaccine, after you get paid, while you shovel down $500 meals at the French Laundry in California, when families are waiting in line for food across America, you're disgusting. You're an embarrassment to the people's house. And now for the big screwing. How do you justify taking money from America to give to foreign countries and special interests during a pandemic? As we come upon the end of tenant protections, this December 31, with the inability to work, the inability to get a vaccine, and you arrogant, selfish politicians think that $600 is enough? A primer. You work in the House of Representatives. It is the people's house. It was built for those who are closest to the people. You work for us. We pay your salary, your staff, for your travel, for your junkets. You spend our money, not yours. And you prefer to spend it now on third world countries while we're in a pandemic? You want to give $10 million for gender programs in Pakistan? $1.4 billion to the Asian Reassurance Initiative Act? $37 million to make sure the Philippine students don't play hooky? If you can't afford to take care of Americans, but you can take care of other countries and special projects of lobbyists, then we can't afford to have you in the people's house. You've proven that you're disloyal, that your health and your salaries are more important than the people who put you in power. Naively, you're a disdain for the people you represent, and it will be your undoing. Trust me on that. And that's my open. Let me know what you think on my Facebook and Twitter, #Judge Jeanine. If you like my opens,